A sour face comes from sour thoughts. An angry face comes from angry thoughts. Okay, whenever you see these women out there and they're just like, right? Just never smiling, never happy. They just have this very like depressed energy about them. Okay, make no mistake, that comes from their own thought patterns, their own behavioral patterns, right? Whenever I get these haters in my comment section on YouTube, their profile photo is always like this. It's always like, you know, they're never smiling, they're never happy. Right? That's why I'm never surprised. I'm never surprised at like their words, their verbiage, their vernacular. It's like so like angry. It's so dark, right? Because again, an angry face comes from angry thoughts. A sour face comes from sour thoughts. And don't think for a second that this is some kind of like sporadic event in their life where they're just unhappy today, but they're usually pretty happy. No, these people are generally unhappy, right? 90% of the time, these people are just not happy people. So do not kid yourself. You know, a buddy of mine, actually a former student, right? He just sent me a photo of this girl. He's like, oh yeah, hey Em, I just met this girl. Tell me what you think, right? Send me her photo, her like Instagram profile and her social media. And he was like, yeah, I just met this girl on the fly and what do you think of her? So I looked, this girl had like dozens of photos of herself. Not a single one was she smiling in these photos. Not one, not a single one. And I'm like, does this chick smile at all? What are her teeth rotting or something? I mean, because sometimes a girl might not like her teeth, so she won't smile. But still, even then, you could be like, right? Didn't even have that. She's like, everything was like, you know, sure enough, dude ended up dating her, and he was like, man, this chick was depressing, man. She was like moping all the time, and everything was like, everything sucks, and all people suck, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, duh, didn't I tell you? Just based on her photos alone? Hello? I mean, personally for me, I just don't date girls like that. It's like, you need to freaking smile, man. If you don't have a positive energy about you, I don't even want to be your friend. I don't even want you in my life. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care what kind of great arm candy you would be. I don't care that you would be such great arm candy that I could use you to get other attractive women. No, I don't care. I just don't want to be around you. Right? And I don't want to like just bag on women about this. I'm saying guys too, right? But I don't really have anybody in my life who's like that because I don't allow people like that in my life who are just constantly, you know, I don't like that energy, right? I'm a pretty happy, fun guy. I'm positive, right? You see it, I mean, even in my baby photos, I'm like smiling. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm in my crib, right? This is great. I'm gonna have Gerber today. Or whatever the kids were, like babies were eating, right? I wasn't like, right? I was already excited about life. And I prefer to surround myself around other people with positive energy because it's infected, you know, it's infectious. Same thing with negative energy. When a person's like negative and dark like that, you're really just gonna attract more people like yourself because again, like attracts like, okay? Like attracts like. Now, does it mean that you're never gonna have dark days and you're going to be happy 24/7? No, of course not. I mean, you're going to have days that you're down. You're going to have days where like shit's just not going your way, and that's okay. That's okay. But even then, it's a good test to see how stoic you can be, right? And I mentioned this in a previous coaching video. It's like a couple of months back, like literally overnight, all of my websites went down. My entire business came crashing down in one night. Everything went wrong. It was weird, right? It was weird. It was like the universe was testing me. But, and it wasn't, there was no specific like platform to blame, right? It wasn't like it was just my hosting company or just, you know, the website company that I was using or this other company. It was like just a myriad of events that all happened the same night. And my team was freaking out and they were all like calling me like, you know, what are you doing? Get online. And oh my gosh, you know, because they depend on me to feed their families. And I had to calm everyone down. At the same time, I'm freaking out inside. I'm like, oh shit, right? And I did curse a little bit. I was like, fuck. It was like probably the worst day that I've had all year. But even then, I looked at it as an opportunity. right? I didn't let myself freak out. I mean, I freaked out a little bit, but then once I just took a moment to breathe, I'm like, we're gonna deal with this, right? We're gonna freaking deal with this. I tried to put a smile on my face. I'm like, we're gonna deal with this. Let's figure this out, guys. And then we mapped out a plan. We're like, okay, first thing in the morning, let's call the hosting company. Let's get them on the horn. Next thing, let's get the website company on the horn. Luckily, the guy who runs, because we use a theme for a few of my websites, the guy who actually created the theme, he's over in London, and I was able to actually get a hold of him. I think I woke him up, but he was like the CEO of the company. I mean, he's not in there like programming or anything like that, but he took care of it for me. So props, thank you very much. He took care of it for me. I was like, oh God, thank you. So he took care of a lot of it for me, but I still had to deal with my hosting company in the morning. But still, I mean, through it all, I just kept my smile. I kept my positive outlook. I remember I'm like, there is nothing I could do at this time of the night, because it was the middle of the night, right? I'm like, there's nothing I could do. Let me take cash out. I took my dog out to the park. We went to the park in the middle of the night, and I'm like, okay, instead of freaking out, let's go get some steak and eggs. So we went to go treat ourselves to some steak and eggs, right? I didn't like eat like piss poor. I ate healthy, but I still treated myself, and I treated him. I'm like, let's just get through this. Me, Cash, Gizmo, right? My other dog. So we got through it, and then the next day we got the hosting company on the phone, and we fixed it, right? We fixed it. It was a little temporary patch. We continued to deal with this issue for the next 3 weeks, almost the entire month. We continued to deal with it until it was finally done. It was like a huge relief. But still, man, I mean, the entire month was stressful. But even then, I wouldn't let it get to me. I would still smile. I would look at the things in life that I was grateful for. Because at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. You got to look at the things that you do have instead of the things that you don't have, right? You got to appreciate the things that you do have instead of the things that you don't have. And I was like, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I'm like, this has been a great business. This is incredible. And we'll be fine, right? We'll be fine. It's okay. You know, these things happen. And I just had to tell myself, you know, it happens, and life is still good. Cash is here with me. He's still healthy. Gizmo's healthy. We're happy. You know, I'm dating some really beautiful hot girls right now. They're all cool. What do I have to complain about? You know, we'll fix this. Don't worry. You know, I kept a smile on my face. Didn't let it get me down. I mean, you just have to understand, life is going to throw you curveballs, right? It's going to throw you curveballs. And that's just shit that happens, you know. But there are some people out there that even when life's not throwing them a curveball, they're just unhappy. They're just not happy people. And I don't like that. I don't like being around people who aren't happy. I don't like being around people who are constantly just negative. Like everything's like just kills the fun, right? Everything just spoils the fun. But there was a skit that popped up when I was researching this coaching video of like, just not being a negative Nelly, a Debbie Downer. And I guess on SNL, they actually had a skit called Debbie Downer. And it was like a character who, like, everybody's having a good time. And then she would constantly like bring everyone down by saying shit that was like not happy. It was like always toxic, right? It just kind of reminds me of like these black pill guys. It's like, no matter what, they got an excuse for everything. No matter what, oh, it can never be changed. They just like have a massive case of give-up-itis. So no matter what, it's like, nope, because I'm sucking at life. Everybody's sucking. Everybody, that's the truth. You can't win at life. Everyone's got to suck. You know, unless you're a Chad, right? Unless you get like looks, money, status. Right? I can't be around dudes like that. I just can't. I can't deal with the energy. I'm somebody who's just very optimistic. As pessimistic as I may sound in some coaching videos, I'm very optimistic, right? I'm very optimistic about the future. I believe in things. Even when there's nothing there, I just believe in it. You know, when I used to play football, we would be down by 3 or 4 touchdowns. We'd be going into the second half, and the team would be like, my teammates would be like, dude, there's no way we're going to come back from this. And I'd be like, all right, let's just play and have fun. Let's do the best we can then. And they would be like, okay, let's just do the best we can. But then like secretly in the back of my head, I'd be like trying to win that son of a bitch. I'd be like, no, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. We're going to come back. And over half the time we didn't, but every once in a while we would. Every once in a while we would make a serious comeback, right? And I love that. I live for that. I love that shit, right? I love just like rising above the odds. I did a coaching video called Never Tell Me the Odds. was one of my favorite lines from a movie that Han Solo said in Star Wars, before it became all like feminist, before he became that way and started pushing that shit. But he said, never tell me the odds. Like, they were flying in the Millennium Falcon through this asteroid field, and C-3PO was like, the odds of us making it through this asteroid field are 1 in 1,300,000, you know, and he was like, never tell me the odds, right? He didn't say it with as much bravado as I would have liked him to, right? But that's how I heard it. I was like, never tell me the odds. When people will tell me, you can't be building a pickup company now, the pickup industry is dying, no one's doing this anymore. I was like, never tell me the odds. You know, when guys were like telling me, yeah, you can't make a career on YouTube, no one's gonna watch you. Like, never tell me the odds. Like, people are like, you shouldn't be doing pickup anymore, you should be doing something else. You know, you're already old. They were telling me this when I was like 29, 30. Oh, you're already old. I was like, never tell me the odds. I had people I grew up with, because I grew up very middle class, very poor, and you know, we didn't have a whole lot of money growing up, and we would used to have, when we would take trips to Disneyland with my family, we would go in a station wagon. We had a station wagon back then, old 76 Oldsmobile Cutlass. It was light blue. And we couldn't even afford to stay in a hotel when we go to Disneyland. We had to sleep in the car. Like me, my brothers, sisters, my grandmothers slept in the car because we couldn't even afford like a $15 hotel room. That's how much it was back then. Couldn't afford that. Had to sleep in the car, right? And I remember back then, people in my family, people I grew up with, like, yep, this is it. This is what life is about. You know, you can't get rich today. We don't know any rich people, so you'll never make it. I was already thinking in my head, never tell me the odds. All right, you have to have that positive outlook about you. You have to have that positive energy about you. You know, and this is why I specifically only like to date women who also have that positive energy about them. I love women who smile, right guys? I love women who like they show their teeth, they smile. They just have this very positive energy about them, this positive aura about them, right? And they often smell pretty good. These women tend to pick out like really good, like good smelling perfumes, and their hair is always nice. It's like, right? They know how to really like get you smitten. Whereas girls who are like, you know, it's like this constant darkness around them. I can't stand that. It annoys me. Okay, and whenever I approach a girl who, you know, by mistake, who happens to be like that, who I might have thought otherwise, but then she's like, you know, and it's beyond shit testing. It's more or less like she's just an angry, dark, toxic person. And if she throws an insult out, which many times like girls like that do, I have no problem annihilating her. I mean, just for the fun of it, I will annihilate her. I'll like put her down about her outfit, the way she did her hair, because she's doing it to me. I will throw that shit back, you know? I will throw that shit back. You know, sometimes oddly the girl gets attracted. It's like, oh, come here, let's talk. I'm like, no, get away from me. Right? Touch me after what you said. So a positive vibe is like, it's so big, guys. It's so big because it tells you so much about the person. It tells you that they're happy. It tells you that they've got a good life. It really tells you too that they appreciate their lives, that they appreciate the people in their lives, and they appreciate the little things about life. Because a person who's happy like that will appreciate you. So when you do those little things, say you enter a relationship with that person, or even that person's like, say, a guy friend of yours, you do those little things, that person will appreciate you. That person will appreciate you, what you did, right? And they will value you, as opposed to somebody who is like, you know, just negative like that all the time. They're not going to value shit you do. Even if you do them favors and you go out of your way, they're never going to appreciate it. They're never going to appreciate you because they don't appreciate themselves. So they're going to be like, so, thanks, right? They're not going to appreciate you. So make no mistake, man, you can't change people, okay? You cannot change people. Only people can change themselves. You cannot change somebody who's unwilling to change themselves. So whenever you see somebody who's just like constantly just depressed, got that downer, negative Nelly shit, you know, especially if you're a happy person, you know, male or female, you know, you don't want to be around somebody like that. You want to be around somebody who's just like you, who's optimistic. They see the glass half full as opposed to half empty. You guys remember that saying? You either see the glass half full or half empty. And I tend to see the glass half full. Okay, I cannot stand dudes, including women, that are just constant, like, they always have something negative to say. You know, and these women, I've dated a few of these girls too, where, you know, they were like really attractive. Like, you would think that some dude would have married them off long ago. And here we are now in our 40s. Some of these chicks are even now in their early 50s, still single. Still single. Like one girl I could think of, I don't want to use her real name. Let's just say her name is Donatella. Donatella was very hot in her 20s, super hot, got tons of attention from men. It used to drive me nuts. I dated her for a while. She used to get so much attention from guys, it was insane, right? She had so many white knight beta orbiters at her work. I had so much competition dating this girl. It was crazy. And this was back in my blue pill days before I really established like relationship game. So I used to do a lot of mate guarding, right? Because I used to get jealous, man. I used to get so jealous over this chick. But Donatella had all these guys after her, right? She had so many guys willing to cut their arm off to marry her. Yet, you know, because this chick was a few years older than me, now she's in her early 50s. She, you know, from what I've seen, she's still not that bad looking. Right? She's kind of one of those ones that's kind of held on to her looks a little bit. Obviously, she's much older, right? But she's still single, still can't hang on to a man, still unmarried. Now, complete damaged goods. It's like, dude, all these guys wanted you, including high-value men. How can you not lock down a single one of them? It's because this chick was toxic, right? Always had like a mouth, yap, yap, yap. Always had something like disrespectful to say. Not surprised she's still single. You know, constantly, like always, I remember her, she would always pout, like, you know, and it got to the point where I'm like, I'm just done, man. I'm just done with this. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And relationship ended, and I didn't try to get her back. I'm like, I felt like renewed after we broke up. I felt like I got my energy levels back. I felt great about life again, right? I felt good about life again. And fast forward, you know, almost a couple of decades later, she's still single. Still single, can't lock down a man. Now that she's past her prime, and even now she still looks, you know, she still looks decent to get a guy, and she still can't do it. Why? Because guys, even guys, we don't want to be around that, no matter how hot you are. We don't like that negative energy, girls. We hate it. We hate that toxic attitude. I can't stand it. So I'm gonna wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. More importantly, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to my channel, so please make sure you subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. That way, whenever I upload a brand new coaching video to YouTube, you will be the first to know about it, right? You will get it first before everyone else. You won't have to like dig around on YouTube or dig around my channel to try to find it. Instead, you will get it fresh as I upload it the very same day, right? And again, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, okay? So hit that subscribe button now. I really appreciate it. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill content I'm teaching guys here on my channel, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube, just to protect my content in the event that YouTube decides to demonetize all my videos or shut me down completely one day. I have my premium channel, which is again on a private platform, and in order to access my premium content, you must be a premium subscriber, okay? And to become a premium subscriber, it's only $1, okay? So it's $1 for the entire first month of premium content, right? And to take advantage of it, all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. And like I said, it's only $1. Who can't afford $1? It's only $1, so please do that. Really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next coaching video. Yeah, you guys curious about the shirt? There you go. I was wearing my Maverick shirt in the last coaching video, I believe. So this one's, I'm actually headed out to the beach. Yeah, it's probably one of the more douchey shirts that I have, but make it work. Sun's out, guns out. And behind me here is my 77 Trans Am Firebird, call it the Freedom Car. You can see that the logo is the same that was on my phone. Since I got a lot of guys who are like, that's the Rising Phoenix Illuminati symbol. It's like, no, dumbass. It's from a 77 Firebird Trans Am. Right? If you guys actually know about cars, you would know that. But instead, these dudes are like driving Priuses and smart cars and electric cars and hybrid cars, so they don't know anything about muscle cars, like real men's cars, right? Me and my friends used to tinker with these cars when we were in high school. Used to buy them cheap, fix them up, sell them, drive them, drag race them. But now they're just worth way too much these days, like going for crazy, crazy amounts at auctions and whatnot. So you can't buy them cheap like we used to. But yeah, 77 Firebird Trans Am.